The next thing I was going to do for this woven wall hanging was to make some wavy lines coming up and over the triangles in different colors. But first, I'm going to add some Ryan knots just in the middle of these triangles so it falls down onto the weaving. So let's do that first. I'm going to use some of the homespun wool again because I just love it how it looks already wavy. And that's going to add to my little fringe. I'm also going to use, again, some more of the Snuggly Wuggly Loops and Threads baby yarn in the gray. And I'm also going to put in some of the Bernat baby coordinates again. And this is the one that's got that nice little sheen to it. And so I've got a scrap piece that I took off one of my other shuttles. And I'm just going to use this to wrap a piece of cardboard that I've cut. And we're not going to need a lot because we're not going to do a lot of fringe on this particular one. And so we'll just cut that in the middle. And we've got our first color, and I'll do the same for the other two yarns. And let's take for the gray, for that pretty white silvery look, and 4 of the homespun. And even up your ends. And fold them in half. And find your middle. And these sections here is where we're going to add our Ryan knot fringe. And so we're going to be coming over this section here. So you can pull up these strands here. Tuck the left inside, and bring up all your cords, and the same with the right side. That comes under and into the middle, and pull up on that side. Once you've got all your cords or your yarn, pull up to tighten it and pull down. And we'll do the same over here. Again, folding in half. And like before, I'm not going to cut my fringe yet because I want to wait till the whole hanging is finished. Then I can get an idea of how short and how I want to cut those. So I'll do that at the very end. I've pre-wrapped 4 of my weaving shuttles. I'll be using some of the Biggie again that we've used in the previous parts of our wall hanging. Just some leftover gray, bulky, lighter gray yarn. I don't know the name of this one, sorry. This one here also, I don't have the label for this anymore, but I thought it would look great in this hanging, and it's just some yarn, 2 types of yarn that's been actually just tied together with some string. And again, you don't have to use exactly what I'm using. You know, this is a tutorial on how to make a woven wall hanging, so please, you know, feel free to use what you like, but this is what I chose. And again, I'm going to use some of the homespun. So we will be taking advantage of our piece of doweling that's opened up our other shed up here. And just to keep the same sequence, I'm going to come back in again and I'm going to weave my first one through with, again, 2 up and 2 down, and I'll work across to form my first shed. We have the gray triangles, so I will come back in with a lighter color, and I will start with the homespun. So raise our shed, and again, unwinding enough to pass through, and pop it through. Leave enough of a tail on this side because we're going to be using up a bit when we bring this down. So drop your shed. Now come in with your tapestry beater and pull down into all the little crevices. And then we can bring down our sides. Before I bring down this side, I'll just thread my needle and I'll tuck this end in to secure it. pull that back out if that has caused that to go in a bit. And bring it back down. Just make sure we're tucked in right to the gray level there. And our shed stick comes out. Bring it up to the wood doweling and open your next shed, and let's come through again. Holding on to that side right there, I'm just going to lift up like this time. And I'm going to start on this side and beat it down and come down to the middle. And continue to repeat that process, which is taking out your shed stick, finding your threads again to form your first shed. And once you've got it through again, raise your shed and come through again. And I'm going to hold it on this side, arch it right up, and start by beating down on the left side and working it into the little valleys. Remove, and then up to your second shed, open, hold it down again, arch it up, and let it take up the slack from the other side as you beat it down. I'm going to continue until I've got probably about an inch. That's as far as I'm going to go with the homespun. We'll just cut that off the shuttle. And again, it's nice to tuck these ends in now because it'll be a lot less work for you when you go to finish the back of your wall hanging. And we'll just tuck those into the back. And the same process, again, the tabby weaving going back and forth, and now I'm going to come in with this nice big bulky darker gray and lighter gray. Before I do my weave on this one, I'm just going to tuck this end in and pull it down as tight as you can. You've got a bulky yarn. See if you can thread that on your needle. And I'm just going to reverse this, and it will be, this one's, I'm just going to go over. And we'll bring that down. So we'll lift that up again. You can come down into the middle valleys if you want to do it that way. But I find working from the one side and then coming over is working nicely. And again, sheds out and back up by the downing for the second shed. And back through we go. And again, repeat this process for as many rows that you want to do in your next color of yarn. And I'm going to end there for this variegated gray. And you don't always have to use the needle, of course, to cut through. I can just sneak it in with my fingers if I want to. A little bit more awkward, but not that bad. Don't pull in your side. Make sure your side isn't pulled in. And now we're ready to come in with the Biggie yarn. And again, same process. I'll lift that up. I'm just going to tuck this in again while I'm here. And this piece here won't be enough to go back through again, so I'll just cut this one off. I'll just bring some more of my Biggie yarn and wrap the shuttle again. I'll bring my shade through again, but this time I don't want to create a lot of bulk on this one corner, so I'm going to drop it down to where my other one ended, where I tucked it in before. So I'm just going to bring that one down to there. And to tuck that one in to secure it, I'll just bring it back up and over a couple strands. And then continue. And I've got just enough to come back the other way. This time I wanted to end on this side because I'm creating a little bit of bulk on this side from tucking my ends under, so I will tuck under on this side instead this time. I'll just tuck that under, up and over, and down. And that completes our section on how to do curvy, wavy lines.